and now the whole match just ends. Every time I try to record a video today, this is it. This is what I get. This is what we're all getting, Magic. Wizards, I'm gonna cry. Hola. Welcome back. Thanks for taking your time to watch Hello Good Game. I know you've got a lot of it today because you've been waiting for the server. What else are you gonna do? Watch me wait for the server, I guess. Today, we are getting dominated by the MTG Arena servers. Historic Anthology 4 recently came out. We had a little bit of an update, what some are now referring to as an oopsie whoopsie, because we cannot get connected consistently to the servers. This is happening almost every match, and it is seemingly always not in my favor. But nonetheless, of course, we do have great gameplay footage for you guys today. We have another great deck for you, and these are the things that really matter. So if you're in Mythic, if you're trying to climb to Mythic, maybe take the day off, take the weekend off, play in the play queue, try some Brawl, try some farm. Well, maybe actually don't farm. Don't spend gems on things. Do not spend gold on things. That should be a public service announcement right now to everybody, actually. Play queue and Brawl, have fun with it, but maybe don't be trying to push rank, and definitely do not be getting burned by spending money, because, now you're gonna have to submit a ticket, and it's just like more work than you need to do for yourself. So just skip past it, today, and it's happening to me now while I'm doing my intro. Like, it can't even stay connected to my deck. But let's check it out really quick before we do get disconnected, all right? So, waiting for server is a 60-card Azorius blue and white control deck focused around the one and only Niko, which is hiding in our sideboard, right? Where else would you want him to be? You don't want him in your main board. A rogue might mill him then. We do have an average converted mana cost of 4.2, 3 creatures, and 37 non-creatures. That is a lot. 20 lands plus a bunch of MDFCs, right? We do have the Seagate, we have Emeria's Call, bringing us up to 24. And again, it's not an 80-card Yorion deck. We have only 60 cards here. No Yorion in sight. We're trying to be classy today. And so we don't really need, 26, 28 lands, especially with all of the draw that we do have in the deck. And we have a little bit of ramp as well. Let's break down the list. We'll talk about strategies, synergies, why the cards were chosen to be included in the build, maybe some of their downfalls as well. Moving into the gameplay footage, breaking down the play lines and interactions, so you get a good idea whether or not this is a deck that you want to be dropping those wild cards on. We get into the closing thoughts, kind of touching on the deck again. We do some more call to actions, talk about our contests and giveaways, all of that general jazz. So, thank you again for your time and attention. If you do find any value within today's video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to a friend, family, your MTG playgroups, your local game store, now that those are up and running again some places, because your boy needs some sponsors. I would love some Friday night codes to give out to the community, right? So hook me up with the store if you can. That would be deadly, and the whole community will thank you for it. Of course, you can support financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, our Amazon link, and our Grey Viking Games link. We've also introduced into the AM situation. If you want any sick swag, you can get baller shirts. Everything's 10% off, of course, through the link, which is now finally confirmed working. We had a little oopsie whoopsie getting that off the ground, but things are good now, and you can even jump in the t-shirt club for $15 a month. So blah 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 blah. Won't this kid ever stop? Waiting for the server. What else are we gonna do? We're not playing Magic, so we may as well talk about the cards here for a little bit. 2 copies of Depart the Realm to kick the deck off. Foretell for 1, instant speed, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Absolutely amazing. The only thing that is frustrating is Faceless Haven, right? Crawling Barrens. These are a little bit frustrating because they are still lands. And we can incorporate a fix for that within our wish board, which we'll show you in a little bit. And it's not a thing that we're always forced to deal with, but it is a little bit of an annoyance. So Depart the Realm takes care of everything other than those 2 cards that I just mentioned. Into our 3 drops now, we have 4 copies of the Raven's Warning, and now this will be how we access the sideboard in the deck. An enchantment Saga, when it enters play, you get a 1/1 burb, you gain 2 life. Whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deals combat damage to a player this turn, look at their hand. That's so good when you're playing in control deck. Now you know what you need to counter. And then you also get to draw a card, which is great. Finally, you may put a card you own from outside the game on the top of your library, which is, where the sideboard comes into play here. It's best of 1 sideboard, so really utilizing it to shut down our opponent's play lines. Raven's Warning is great because of the sheer value that it brings into the game. Potentially, drawing 1 card plus getting you a draw specifically from your library. And then you're also, gaining the 2 life, which is decent, and you get the bird, which could act as a chump blocker for you as well, which is really nice. So, the Raven's Warning is great because of that value. Niko's Warning is great for a similar reason. When it enters play, and we have 4 copies of these in the deck for 3 mana, when it enters play, you will gain 2 life. Here we go. For each card that we have in Foretell. So the main part of the deck is just Foretell. It's a Foretell deck. Everything we have is going to go in Foretell, right? So we're going to be gaining a bunch of life this way. That's great from, the aggro decks that are plaguing best of 1 right now. Next up, you add Azorius mana, spend this mana to cast Foretell cards, like to put them in Foretell, or to cast cards with Foretell, right? So you can either put cards in exile with the mana, which is great, or you can, cast them from exile or your hand. They just have to have Foretell. They don't need to be foretold. So that's great, gaining 2 life for each card you own. I've gained 14 life at 1 play of this before, so that's worth 3 mana right there. Then you gain 2 of that mana back, so it's really like it only cost 1. Kind of crazy. And then you get to return a card with Foretell from your graveyard back, which has got to be, relative value there too, because it's not only going into your life, it's coming right back into your hand. So Niko Defies Destiny is just like an absolute house of value, similar to the Raven's Warning, but be careful you don't get them mixed up, because they are both 3 CMC Azorius color enchantment sagas. They look very similar. Moving on, we do have 4 copies of Saw It Coming, instant speed for 3, Foretell for 2, counter target spell. Again, just getting this into the Foretell is our main objective, and utilizing it only when we need to. 3 copies of Brazen Borrower, a 3/1 with flash and flying. It can only block other flyers, which is quite nice. Petty Theft for 2 at instant speed as the adventure to return target non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. Again, similar to Depart the Realm, non-land permanent. That's a little bit of a struggle with Faceless Haven, with Crawling Barrens, right? It's not only my job to, hype the decks up, but I do have to let you guys know kind of the downfalls and where they lie as well, so you can try to work around them as best you can, because there are ways to do so. This is great to cast as the adventure, and then it goes into exile, similar to the Foretell cards, and that's where we gain a lot of value within the deck, and I'll explain all this later as we get to it. 2 copies of Ravenform. Again, get this into Foretell. That way, instead of 3 mana, it only costs 1. It is sorcery speed, which is a bummer, but exile target artifact or creature its controller creates a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. There's so many cool things that you can take out with this. For example, an Ember Cleave is one of the big ones, right? The Great Henge potentially as well. Just absolutely shutting it down is rewarding. Moving on to one of the main cards in the deck, believe it or not, Midnight Clock. 3 copies of this. We can tap it to add a blue mana. We can also pay 3 mana to put an hour counter on it. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, an hour counter is organically put onto it. When there's 12 counters, we exile it, shuffle hand, plus graveyard into deck, draw 7. Cool. So the synergy within the deck, now that we're here, we can reveal it, is to put all of our cards in Foretell. It's to, or exile, because the Brazen Borrower's Petty Theft gets it into exile as well, right? That way we have an empty hand. We still have access to a ton of cards. Boom, clock pops. We don't discard any, but we draw 7. Now we have 2 hands to play from, and that's the kind of magic that I'm looking forward to getting into. Moving on to our 4-drops. 4 copies of Behold the Multiverse. Instant speed, scry 2, then draw 2 cards. Foretell for 2. Again, get it into the side so you can utilize it later without having to discard it. The same goes with Doomskar. Sorcery speed for 5, destroy all creatures. Foretell for 3. 4 copies of this in deck. 2 copies of Graven Lore for 5 mana as a snow instant. We do have snow lands. Scry X, where X is the amount of snow spent to cast this spell, and then draw 3 cards. So potentially, scry 5, draw 3. It's going to get you where you need to go. Speaking of getting where you need to go, we have things like the Seagate Restoration. Whether or not we play this as the land or as a draw, it's going to be very good for us. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand, +1. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Okay, so let's get this. We have all of our cards in Foretell. The clock pops, we draw 7. Seagate's in there. Down to 6, we draw 7 more. We're at 14 cards in hand. Actually, it would be 15 because the draw to start the turn. It's too much. It's too much, and then you're not discarding, and that's going to open up ample opportunity for you to draw and now cast Alrund's Epiphany. 4 copies of this in the deck. Sorcery speed, create 2 1/1 blue burbs with flying, takes an extra turn, exile it. Foretell for 6. So again, we can put it to the side so the clock doesn't have us discard it, and then later on in game we can just kind of rifle off more value than our opponent will ever be able to comprehend. 2 copies of Emeria's Call for 7, 2 4/4s, everything else gets indestructible. You know what I mean? Cool beans there with Skyclave land. We just have it in case we're flooding, which is awkward. My hands have been really weird recently. We've got 4 temples for the Scry 1, 4 pathways to make the land pretty friendly because, you know, we do have Seagate, which is 3 blue, and, you know, Doomskar, which is 2 white, and Emeria's Call. So stuff like this, and of course the snow for the Graven Lore. That's the deck. Again, your strategies and synergies, everything goes into exile. Foretell, adventure, into exile, right? Clock pops, we draw full hand. We already have a full hand in exile. Hopefully we can Seagate Restoration. Now it's like we're holding 2 hands and 1 hand. And we're going to be able to bash through pretty nicely there. And then we're just using Alrund's Epiphany to, you know, go infinite. And of course, we mentioned the best of 1 board, Draenith Magistrate. This shuts down everything that we're doing. If it's a mirror match, if people catch on to the deck and you see it, well, this is the card to shut it down because the Adventure's not getting cast, the Foretell's not getting cast. Good times. We have a Negate, just straight up protection. Again, you probably won't need this because saw it coming is being recycled through Niko Defies Destiny as a potential. We have a Spyglass, you know, Sorry, Ugin decks or whatever it happens to be there. The Runestone, you know, any graveyard recursion, escape, for an example. This is just stop it. They can't enter the battlefield as well, so there's another deck that I know is really annoying that I'm sure you guys get that shuts down. Redain, you know, shutting down the aggro decks, making the control decks struggle a lot more. Shadow the Sky is another wipe. Cosmos Chargers, because why not? It fits the deck. Just if you have nothing better to do. Elspeth Conquers Death, you know, a little bit of exile for us, and we can bring a goodie back from the grave if we're coming back multiple times. One of them would be the Dream Trawler, another is the Ugin, and the last would be the Niko Ares, but they're all in our sideboard, so, you know, this is like a down the road situation, like not a first pull. We do have Sublime Epiphany, you know, counter, target gets bounced, which is great, you know, copy of stuff. Dream Trawler gains us life, Seagate Restoration, you know, in case we can't find it and we're looking to do that big draw. Onto Inversion is just like a massive reset button. And then an Ugin is, you know, similar to a reset button. Don't use Ugin if you've Spyglassed Ugin. Niko Ares is, you know, one of my favorite pulls in the deck. And, you know, makes a bunch of shard tokens, which just, again, is going to be not viable to compete with, you know, 12 shard tokens in play. Castle Vantress as well, in case you need the land. So, you know, that's the sideboard. It's not important to know it off by heart. You'll just look through it and decide which card is best for your current interaction. You know, I kind of gave a little bit of a breakdown there for you in case you're curious. So thank you guys all for your time and attention. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to your friends, families, MTG playgroups, local game stores, support financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, Amazon, Great Viking Games, and Into the AM. Thank you so much. Don't forget to partake in our 500,000 gem giveaway, free cash prize monthly tournaments on MTG Melee. We have 100 one-on-one coaching sessions, also coming with $20 cash prize for each of those winners as well. And every single YouTube video, you can win $10 to Great Viking Games just by liking it, commenting while the premiere is happening. So hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on the live premieres. Cheers, having a magical day, and I hope that you don't have to wait for the server too much. And wizards, you gotta fix it. You gotta fix it. It's gonna be some hard days ahead for some content creators if this stays this way. We'll be here though. We're gonna try our best, you guys. Take care. Alrighty. 2 Epiphanies. Doomskar. With a decent land base to get us there. Looking for a second blue source, of course, but it will show itself soon. Playing against Yorion might not be the worst thing for us here. Right, it's going to give us some time. And if it is a Yorion deck, we might want that counter available at some point. It's gonna be a long one. Go right for it. It's pretty cool because we're on the play as well. They're definitely, you know, utilizing their patience here, which is good, making sure they get the correct play. And it's just a hold up counter magic. Maybe they bounce this. Right? Petty theft makes sense. Oh my god, today's matches have been so messed up. So like, today's games might just end at a certain point. Like, they have been absolutely terrible. So we lose our counter, but we see exactly what we're dealing with. And that looks a lot like our own deck. Which is pretty funny. So we know they're taking double turns. We know that Doomskar will be needed at some point. We're bricking on land, which is hurtful, so let's kind of get that going for us. We're not blocking, so we may as well attack. Oh, they just keep playing land. That's hurtful at a certain point. What? Okay, if this doesn't draw a land, we'll concede. Or if it gets countered, we'll concede. Let's take our hit. If we bounce this apparition, we'll get another 2 life and another burb. Birds are cool. Yeah, let's just start chucking stuff to the side, right? As long as they don't have a midnight clock. And we might need to try to bounce it if they do. We're just chilling, playing it cool. Oh, just straight in with Niko Ares. That is interesting. Kill the burb. We get a land off the top. I'm so grateful. Clock enters play. 3 mana up. We almost don't want to bounce this now because then they could take our clock from us, and that's like super sad. Let's just keep pushing our Epiphanies over. As far as I'm concerned, they have 2 Epiphanies as well on the side. Oof, Archon, not good.
Come on, stay sharp.
They could just be using counter magic, right? No, they're tapped. Let's clean it up. We get Raven's Warning back. Oh no, we just get the XX Blue Illusion. That always confuses me sometimes. I guess so sad when it doesn't connect. Yeah. I think we could probably just toss Behold the Multiverse over. I don't think there's much need for Petty Theft to be used right now. Birth of Malatus. This is okay, as long as there's no Archon, right? 1, 2, 5. They're gonna eat the shards. 2 mana each. Have they played a land this turn? Oof. Niko's gonzo.
I got this.
Maybe they have Elspeth Conquers Death on the clock. But we have 2 clocks. That's a counterable spell, in all honesty, as we get to the mid-game here. Nothing. Take our hit. End our turn. They're taking draws, which is pretty cool, actually. Clock's up to 5. Ooh, Field of Ruin. That's kind of irrelevant. We don't have any cool lands. Again, they go in with the Archon. Let's bounce it. Okay, we pull the counter spell. That's nice. We need this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Try to pull the counter spell. No, okay. End our turn, I guess. Is that a hardcast Shark Typhoon? This is a brave soul, ladies and gentlemen. I will draw cards, try to pull a counter. They'll make a shark, right? They're going to be counter happy at this point, I think. This gets countered 100%. Yeah, okay. So they were good to wait it out. We have 3, 6, 7, 8. Not quite enough, sadly. No attacks, end turn. We hold up a Graven Lore, which actually isn't the best because the clock pops so quickly, but we'll see. Alright. That is terrible news. So they're gonna hit that clock. We'll take our draw, which actually now kind of mitigates losing it. There we go. Order our lands. Who Behold the Multiverse? Now that is a lot of cards. Now they're tapped to bring Yorion over. Three, that's fine. Oh gosh. Push this over. We just go for it. It's gotta be Depart the Realm. Then we use this on Shark Typhoon. Right? And then we just need to hold up 2 mana. We may as well cast it from our hand for 3, which leaves us 2 mana. Actually leaves us 3 mana. Yeah, so let's go into the clock. Our turn. No attacks. What do they have from the grave? Oh, they've got Archon in the grave. Gross. Gross, gross. Oh, and our stuff's more expensive now. Durr. Fool. Fool, you fool, you fool. We forgot all about that. We forgot all about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do they have the 6 land? No. Thank the Lord. They bounce. Output Conqueror's Death. Midnight. They're doing good work here. They're really up to no good by my standards. Making us so sad. Alright, let me jump in here. Stop my mind. Maybe things clear up a little bit. We lose the clock. Thadge. We could still take the draw, and at this point, you know what I mean, we may as well. 2 lands go. We Doomskar. Then our stuff is more expensive next turn. Like, brutal, isn't it? We know this is an Alrund's Epiphany. Yorion's probably going to come back from the grave, I'm assuming. They hard cast Shark Typhoon again, and we're immediately back in the World of Hurt. Never mind. Oh, that's an enchantment, though. It's a creature or artifact, so still in a terrible spot. We're just spending our mana on things that aren't taxed, right? So we're going to dump it into the Midnight Clock. We're going to do everything else other than spend a taxed amount. Buy low, sell high. Come on, you guys. It's day one stuff. I'll buy high. That's especially true in my personal situation. Huh? It's our opponent's turn now. Okay, Yorion or Archon. Yori Archon? Maybe they could be one. Combine them together. Interesting. So they want to use Alrund right now. They're hardcasting a Shark Typhoon on top of a Shark Typhoon. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna bawl my eyes out. We need into our sideboard and just grab Ugin, put an end to this. Not supposed to play another control deck. Oof, 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 oof. You're gonna double turn it, and that's what screws us, right? And they could have counter magic as well. Oh man, we're so screwed, right? Our only way out is to try to take double turns. Oh my gosh. And now waiting for servers kicks everybody out of the game. No fun allowed to be had. Arena? Do I just reboot it, I guess? Close window. This has been all day. I don't know how to film content. We might just do deck text for today. Every content creator I talk to is just getting shut down. They're not working today. Unfortunately, I don't have much of that privilege, but we're gonna push through as best we can. All right, back in match. If it feels funny, just get out of it. Try to jump back in again. Hope for the best. Yes to combat. Sorry, just to get that bar away. We're back, I think. And we can push this in. End our turn. I think we were just going for it because we're scared of that Shark Typhoon. Raven's Warning is what we need. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This needs to be countered if they have it. They're letting us do it. I am very interested. Maybe they have their own Ugin that's gonna decimate us. No! Oh, and now the whole match just ends. Every time I try to record a video today, this is it. This is what I get. This is what we're all getting, Magic. Wizards! I'm gonna cry. Everybody's losing rank. Like, I lost that match. We were gonna go into our sideboard with Raven's Warning. We were gonna get Ugin, and we were gonna minus on the field. We were in a good battle there, and I would have really appreciated finishing that match. Going first is great and all, but I don't think it was enough last time even, so I'm worried. We also forgot to make our land changes. Good God. What am I doing with my life? Let's take the draw. The deck's still gonna work for us, I have no doubt. You can do it, Clock, I believe. We'll bounce the Strider. Just trying to, like, push time back a bit. Oof, 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 oof. Nothing really curious at all. Oh my God. And this is why I typically record privately. You'd be surprised how often you get roped live. So they take the Scry. But I guess I shouldn't say anything right now because the servers are being bad too, so maybe that's what's happening probably. I just hate it. Woo! All is well. Ooh. Oh no, we have the 6 over here. Shit, we should have tossed the land. This is actually a straight up banger. Who is this? TV on the radio? They're not very popular, but that's like a good song. Let's check out some of their other tunes. What happened? What just... Well, I like the deck. In the play queue, we were undefeated. We went 4-0 with it. I get all excited about it. Let's hit ranked up, right? No, can't do it. I tried to record a ranked match, 3-4 times. Every single match is just like, cut. That's the end of that. So I don't know why that, for me personally, it's only happening in the ranked queue. I'm wondering if it's happening in the other queues as well. At the beginning of the video, I said, do not spend gold. Do not spend gems on events, because this could be happening in those events right now. I do not know. I'm not willing to risk it, right? You know, with that being said, it's been a terrible experience. It's happened to me 5 times today. I still love Magic. It's fine. I'm not going to complain. I'm not... Well, I am complaining, but we have to complain to a certain degree, just to be noticed. It is the squeaky wheel which receives the grease or the oil, whatever, right? Is that an idiom? I gotta figure out my... it's like a colloquial metaphor, right? I don't know. Anyways, the deck's cool, and the gaming experience today sucks, but we're not going to let that change our optimism for, you know, what we have going on. It's an amazing game. It's been better than ever before. You know, we're going to address it. We're going to send out some tweets. We're going to, you know, bark a little bit. We're going to do some squeaking of our own, and hopefully it gets fixed. But, you know, when you do hear people squeaking, you guys, just as a general thing for your life, you know, don't buy into it too hard, right? Don't say that, you know, it's like, don't launch the nuclear codes, because, you know, that's not a good mindset to be in either, right? Like, it will get fixed. That's the maybe more appropriate mindset, rather than just like straight up complaining like Karen. Stop! You know, as far as changing the deck, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would. I like this version a lot. I think what I would change is maybe some land destruction. Maybe my own Field of Ruin, right? A couple Field of Ruins in the deck. And that way we're taking care of the Faceless Havens. We're taking care of the Crawling Barrens that were previously a little bit of an issue for us, right? I don't see a problem with that. I don't think it changes the deck at all. And I think it would really propel it forward into a more competitive environment. Let me know what you guys think, of course, in the comments below. Love reading comments, getting a good laugh, sometimes getting quite angry by them. You guys are savage. Yeah, so cheers to you. I hope you have a magical day. I'm sure we've gone through all the call to actions enough times, the contest, the giveaways, blah, blah, blah. Go watch 1,000 more videos with your day while you're waiting for the servers. I'm sure you'll have time. And, you know, stay tuned, you guys. We're going to push through it every day, and it'll get better, right? So, yeah, that's it. Take care.